the Ags Arc Warden be really effective too. It could give them a lot of map control if they just spam Spark Rates around the tower.
Well, Boxi is going to get caught here by the side of OG, but again, he is the Timber Saw. He hasn't opted to scale anything just yet either, so start off with that Dragon Tail.
He's going to safe lane.
Ooh, we're in fine form coming out here from Liquid. To be fair, OG will usually do the same thing right back. So
it was incredible how well timed that was. Like they counted it down. They're like, okay, guys, we got to tip him at the same exact moment. Boom, 4 hits him.
Yeah, it's all about that mental warfare here, you know? OG, they're kings of that. These are the guys that go in and they're just having fun. They're laughing. You saw the way Mid 1 giggled when they saw that Arc Warden getting picked up. You gotta have a strong mental game too, Purge. I expect to see that in your coaching from now on too. Good. But yeah, we do have the Arc Warden here. He's going to be duking it out with miCKe and have a nice stat over there. Overwhelmingly picked on Radiant 14 times, 9-9 in DPC, but not ever picked up here in EU just yet.
Yeah, we'll see if it ends up working out. Lanes are going to be a bit weird with Dragonite against Razor, which should be pretty good for Razor since he's a melee hero that you can sap damage from. Puck versus Death Prophet will... fine. No Tail not willing to trade right now, running for his life here, which is a little surprising because he's actually a way more regen than Super does, but not quite ready to fight yet.
Well, he's out of the Spirit Siphon charge.
And then Taiga jungling.
I feel like
last hitting Dragonite.
A lot of the pressure is on, you know, this Arc to have all that damage, right? Because you're going to have some tanky boys coming out from the side of OG. But, you know, Dragonite not really known for being able to, you know, dish out that damage.
Point. Yeah, Dragonite's damage is oftentimes, he's more about initiating more so than dealing DPS. They've got some upsides, I guess. I mean, Acid Spray is still going to amplify whatever damage they're dealing. Death Prophet support often does way more damage than a typical 5-position hero does if you keep her alive with Ekman going. So there's some damage methods that should be effective.
Yeah, but we're already seeing, you know, that advantage that a Razor can have against a DK. Takes a decent chunk of that damage away from him. They have an easier time going through these hits here.
Kind of cool having the Timber Saw against the Elk lane. Like BSJ pointed out in the last game, you Acid Spray creep waves, and then they can't fight you in that. But Timber can because he has an abnormally high amount of armor from reactive armor, so he doesn't care as much to deal with this. And having Timber against all these melee players is excellent for Boxi. It's definitely one of his better heroes, so I'm sure he's going to be able to have a good game here, doing the typical Overvenom rundown on heroes that can't trade with you. He's doing a great job in this lane.
He's just chasing that Saksa here. Definitely a threat in this lane for sure. We already saw that. Topson getting ganked here by Taiga. Aether and then drags him back in, and that's going to be our first blood. Going over to miCKe.
qojqva also killing no tail. So looked like Topson got a little aggressive on the opposite side of the map, but Taiga moved over, got a disable pull off, and therefore they got the easy rundown. Arc Warden's a really slow hero. I think he's like 285. Yeah, 285 without boots. So if you do get out of position, you've got a long chase.
I do like the way that the Enigma's kind of bouncing around these two lanes and making sure that, you know, he can respond if they get a little bit too overzealous, which is something that, you know, OG does like to be very aggressive. We talked about this in the first game.
I do like to be aggressive, yeah. So moving around can definitely help win these lanes potentially. But 2 kills right now for Team Liquid. They're pretty happy with their game position, especially if they can limit a little bit the overall farm of their opponents. Seb looking like he feels like he has to go leave the lane. He's prepping to stack a jungle camp. We'll see if he gets a double stack here. We're probably going to do an attack and then an Acid Spray, I guess, here. But Taiga moving over. Stack and try to farm it. So this is where things get iffy for offlane elf. We saw when 3-3 played it, AFK jungling was still pretty quick, especially when you get Grieval's Greed and skip Unstable Concoction and getting him off on campus. It's a lot of summons, but you know he's not going to get the Ags nearly as fast this game, most likely, with this lane setup.
Is that going to end? I mean, we've talked about this before. The fact that, you know, in game number 1, Mid 1 won the lane handedly, and then also, you know, the Alchemist had a great time. Is that going to automatically set them off as a detriment?
It absolutely should, yeah, because the Ags are going to come later. Look at the other lanes. Topson got killed mid. His net worth, or still, last hits are still good. He's sitting at 24, and he's going to go Midas still fine. But, I mean, look, qojqva's just dumpstering the top lane.
He's just chasing down No-Tail.
Twice now. Exactly. Like, he's got boots already. He basically knows that he can win this lane. Midone can't out-harass him because it's the Dragon Knight. So, like, having Razor in this circumstance, they just pick basically two side cores that are just really good at fighting.
The dive on here in the bottom lane for Saksa. No-Tail is going to join in. Boxi does have those mangoes if necessary. He's going to timber chain. He's still chasing after Saksa here. He's going deep into these woods. This is not looking super great here for Saksa as Boxi just slowly a rusty saw to the face. Not the way you want to go down as miCKe and iNSaNiA over in the mid lane trying to make the plays on Topson, trying to get this kill. Are they going to be able to do it? Yes, they are. As miCKe, the final hit.
See, guys, offlane Alchemist is terrible, clearly. And that is why they're losing. Now, but basically Liquid just identified that they said, like, they're going to try to do the same Kraptos again, and then they just picked the right heroes for it. They got two side lane cores that win their matchups pretty convincingly. They happen to get them in matchups that are very good. Having Timbersaw versus Alk is perfect. Having Razor versus an offlane DK is perfect. And they happen to kill Tops in the mid lane now twice. They're winning 3 lanes. This is like a massive advantage for Liquid.
qojqva's just really enjoying sapping all of that damage there from mid 1. Chases him down. Looks like they're trying to make some plays over here on miCKe, but, you know, what are you going to do with a Death Prophet 5? You've got some nice silence, yes, but it's a lot more difficult, right, than compared to what we have going on the side of Liquid.
Then he's struggling for gold and levels because of the fact that he's died twice in lane now. Just picking a raindrop, it'll help him survive burst, but having a boots at this position would feel a lot better. But either way, Void Spirit hitting 6, like, yeah, you're not going to be able to kill him. The best thing you can do now is just sit behind him and be ready for the dive when it comes, because miCKe is definitely thinking about it with that DD.
You can see the way that the sports are playing. They do spot out Taiga, though, over here, so we'll be able to force him out of the jungle. But the tower goes down. Boxi taking it around a little bit before 7 minutes. Very...
He's not even sacrificing himself much here. He will get gone on, but it's a long chase. He's got boots. His opponents are half booted here.
Whoa, Boxi chasing after Saksa again. He's bullying the poor Rubik on and off, non-stop. Down he goes. Although it does look like they're trying to make some plays. miCKe, though, with the double damage. He's very low. Has to be careful. He's taking all... Not quite going to be enough. That Crypt Swarm not strong enough either as miCKe 7-something hit points. Could be able to walk away. The Chocolate was doing a lot of damage. miCKe, he's just tossing back and forth within here. Is he finally going to get punished? No, he's not. No-Tail now looking like he's going to be in trouble. Set next to Maul. If they get one more hit off, and by God, they will.
Not looking good for OG, guys. That's a big loss of heroes here. They almost got miCKe, but he just min-maxes it there and stays alive. I'm sure any Liquid fan is really excited right now. That is so big.
Look
here it is again. miCKe in trouble, not looking so good. It's a double bump, all 3 tops, and iNSaNiA blocks him about 3 times in a row. Really nice move there by Liquid to throw the game briefly, but it couldn't stop him. miCKe gets a ton of shield right there, and No-Tail only having level 1 nuke really cost him there. If No-Tail's level 4, 100% he dies.
42 hit points during that whole thing and still was able to walk away. It almost looked like he's just gonna yawn. I will say, yeah, Boxi is just a big threat right now. There's not a whole heck of a lot that they really can do against the Timber with their lineup at this time.
He's such a good player playing from ahead. Like, it's one of his greatest strengths, I think, as an offlane player, that if he does get these, like, hero matchup advantages, he knows where to go, he knows how to be aggressive. Like, just getting Topson's HP to half is massive, because now Topson is not going to want to play aggressive anytime soon here. And he's also shifted from a flip that was easy to kill, the safe lane tower, and he instantly goes mid. And basically his whole team can ignore him, knowing that he's ahead. He can also pressure your goats. Instead, he's now going to rotate up, because that's where OG's pressuring. He just wants to go where that's going to make it inconvenient for OG to hit the
Here's Ivan coming up. No-Tail and iNSaNiA standing nearby. 6 yet. No-Tail looks like he falls a pretty decent amount. And over in the bottom lane, Saksa's getting faced by miCKe this entire time.
They're just rotating off.
Okay, maybe they get a kill on Taiga.
Good super farm though. He's already got Necro 1 and he's a 4th position hero, by the way. He's been jungling. His net worth is slightly higher than Arc Wardens. It's almost the same as Dragon Knights. And everybody else on Liquid side is massively ahead. So this is still looking excellent for Liquid.
Oh,
they're basically just...
Okay, they don't have anything to interrupt that TP. So he's going to be able to teleport out, no problem, but definitely got very low with Boxi just yo-yoing of death back and forth there. Bottle resell, pressure into light.
They'll commit to this tower now, I assume. Necro 1 in about 17 seconds here. And they've got smokes ready on Enigma too. They could try to smoke around, but they're just going to play it safe. They don't need to like smoke and hard commit for these engagements. They catch the observe board there. That's huge. Going to make it even harder for OG to defend because they're not going to necessarily know exactly where Liquid's heroes are. So for now, Boxi does it solo. qojqva going to retreat from top. And Saksa is still trying to catch up in net worth on the bot lane. iNSaNiA will get through as well. So just really easy pressure mid. No tail might die in the mid lane. Looking dead.
Yeah, he's getting chased here by Boxi. Just a couple of clicks. And eventually down goes No Tail. They'll lose Topson to the top lane though, but the black hole coming. Good. Gonna be able to just kite them left and right. They get the kill on Seb. Mid one is left all alone. They have the double damage on miCKe. It's gonna be Taiga who cleans up. A disaster for OG. They're gonna go right after Saksa. He just wanted levels, guys. No, it's a triple kill for miCKe.
The amount of control and like efficiency they're getting on the map is insane. Taiga TP'd mid, he summoned his Eidolons, he spawned his Necro, and they destroyed mid while Timber is killing the support that tries to defend it. And in the meantime, I'm like, oh, the tower's dead. Then I look top, boom, black hole. So he puts all of his summons mid. He doesn't even need to be top to participate in that fight. And they're just consistently winning all lanes. This is like the most winning 3 lanes crap I've seen. And maybe all DPC, because it's not like they just won the laning stage. It's like they are constantly winning 3 lanes, no matter where they go.
Right into Boxi, right into Taiga. miCKe's that 8th remnant, and Boxi gets himself yet another kill. We are indeed dead. qojqva's just
queued up his eggs.
qojqva has not left his lane, I'm pretty sure. He's just been allowed to do pretty much anything. He did rotate once at one point. But look at these TPs coming out immediately. qojqva, he's so fast. iNSaNiA, waning rip coming forward here. Doesn't have the Dream Coil for another 12 seconds. Taiga getting into position, does not have black hole, but of course we'll go drop that midnight pulse. Does a decent damage. Is now Seb isolated from the rest of his team. qojqva's just dancing around here. He's walking his alchemist over here, and he's gonna be able to. No, he does get stunned up. One more hit will do the trick, and down goes Seb. It's not looking great for mid one either, as he's just blinked away by Puck. Saksa over in the corner. They're just getting steamrolled here.
Because Puck is a higher level than Dragonite is right now. That's a 5 position 4. This is not good.
In this going down. He did get his Midas off, though. You know, efficiency.
Good for him. And then he Midas Razor by dying. Yeah.
miCKe is on the hunt, and they will not only take down the double up top, but they'll take down the original copy. And this one, his hand Midas is not on cooldown. Passive Midas.
I think the strategy is really effectively dismantled. Like, I think what was kind of crucial about OG last game was that miCKe as an eggs pickup, really effective, right? But miCKe also is a lane winner, right? And that's what was crucial here. Their Ags potential heroes here are not like crazy lane winners, and they're not as flexible as a miCKe is. So OG just had the better draft for the strategy in game 1. Game 2 heavily punished by Liquid's reaction picks.
Oh dear, Saksa already just gets drawn right back in. They'll go to use the exorcism, but they're just not doing much damage over here. As Boxi, of course, can just go Timber Chain away. Ghosts are doing a decent amount though. Are they finally going to be able to take down Boxi? Yes, they do. Back in again, qojqva dancing around. No Tail still chasing after Dream Coil, coming up over onto the back line. So they go, they take down mid 1. And now No Tail trying to just get as much damage with these ghostly ladies as possible. So he doesn't do it down, but he does fall. And now Seb getting chased behind the tier 2. The GG gets called. OG, they've had enough. As Liquid figures it out, miCKe gets the rampage. And this is, you know, one of the strengths of Liquid, I feel, is that they're very quick on the uptake surge.
Really, they equalized it out. They made the strat look bad, and that is the weakness of offlane Alec right there. If you
Topson sitting at 17 hit points. He's going to be able to survive this.
Ooh, that's really close.
He's going to have to duke it out here with qojqva in this mid.
OG's turn to pick.
Is to simply shove the lane because all of his spells are single target annoying harass. So if you just have no creeps for him to sit behind while he's being aggressive,
10 seconds
and they have
remaining.
Keeper of the Light who can nuke it out, Wraith King who can summon skeletons.
I know you're still in NA, BSJ, but you sure it's gonna be offlane OD?
Yeah, I'm saying that based on what they see so far, like Wraith King does well against it, and so I guess they're committing to Void Spirit most likely being a mid laner, but at the same time they get Rubik, and this is a really nice Rubik game so far. Bloodseeker as well as OD have some amazing
10
spells to
seconds
steal.
remaining.
We've actually seen
Astral being the most notable.
Yeah, we've actually seen this OD Void Spirit magic
5
before,
seconds
where if you
remaining.
time the Astral Media Hammer well, you can always get the Void Spirit. There's a very small window you can actually get the play off of.
Team
And I think
Liquid's
that, yeah, like
turn
Brian
to
mentioned,
ban.
OD offlane doesn't feel as great just because of the nuke and wave clear that OG has. I think the flexibility right now Liquid's presenting is, of course, the Bloodseeker could be carrier offlane. OD, I believe, should be mid, but they can flex it still. And then OG, their response to this OD is just the Rubik. One of the best heroes against OD because you're still in prison.
10
And now,
seconds
not only
remaining.
do you have your own prison, you have your cast range, you can have this additional save. So
5
The,
seconds
the fear I would
remaining.
have is OG supports. Like, can you really protect
OG's
them?
turn
Because
to
there's a
ban.
lot of reach on the side of Liquid, and if they can just sort of walk past the
Team
Wraith King
Liquid's turn
and
to
find
ban.
these squishies in the back, they can bust open a team fight real easily.
they're playing a much more reactionary game, though. We've seen how OG in previous series, in the first game, they bring out strategy, high pace. Second game, it's very 50-50. This series, of course, they got demolished. But going into the third game, they can really change up the tempo. And right now, I just see
10
all their heroes will
seconds
stay in their
remaining.
lane. They'll push out the lanes, and then maybe Void Spirit will be the key hero that kind of pivots and
5 seconds
counterplays,
remaining.
but they're not going to be looking to really
OG's turn to
overwhelm their
pick.
opponent until they have Wraith King with an item or two. Unless their offlane pick is also very strong.
Another game where the last round of bans are all used on offlaner. I guess not.
Should this be for big mid?
10
Is that too
seconds
crazy
remaining.
for Topson?
It's possible, but I think it's more likely
5
just the Void
seconds
Spirit.
remaining.
Trying to think of where we go for
They have a lot of reserve time, but they,
Yeah, they
they
do.
might eat through this to work it out, or they could just tap pick.
Just to get it out. Is there still a chance for Alcor? No.
Probably not.
I mean, it is pretty dope on Wraith King. That'd be pretty hilarious to see like 50 minutes into the game. I don't know how effective it would be, but like,
It doesn't
Aha, you
accelerate,
died,
and
now
that's
you're
exactly what you
dead
said
now.
makes it good, right?
It doesn't sound great.
Okay. At least we covered our bases,
That's true. I wouldn't mind like a Fury or something on the lane. There's a lot more pressure to apply on the map, and
Yeah,
a hero that moves. Because again, like
Yeah.
Void Spirit can make plays, and then you have the Cuddle Fury and the double global,
I
etc.
mean,
I'm
this
here. For Liquid or for OG?
for OG.
But
Pretty
then
cool against OD,
What's
but-
is Seb gonna play it? No, he's not the Visage player. Generally, it's
Didn't
no
practice
till.
any act before, then he played act,
Actually,
didn't
yeah, they did the same thing as that Fly No-Till used to do, where No-Till just controls the little birds, and then
What?
Seb only has to control the big bird.
Is that really what they did?
Yeah. When Fly played Visage, No-Till was in control of the little birds a lot of the times. Yeah, I'm not kidding.
I had no idea about that one.
It's a fun fact.
You guys weren't watching panels, huh? When those things, when those tournaments were happening at that time.
They were a lot less interesting back then, I think.
Oh, thanks, Carl. It's so nice of you to compliment Brian like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think you were on panels around that time, weren't you?
He got knocked out pretty quick, so he jumped on the panel to start his career. That was a joke, guys. Don't worry.
You know, towards the end of the tournament, where all the teams that are already eliminated, they're like inviting players to participate. Yeah.
All right, Brian, that was the joke. Thank you for slower viewers at home.
I didn't want to say it.
So they did actually burn through all of their reserve time thinking about this. They look pretty relaxed about it, though.
Yeah, they're pretty, they're like, you know what? We're going to pick a hero in like 7 seconds time. We might win the game.
There it is. It's a CK. What do we make of that?
So not a creep hero, but an illusion hero. And I think that was the right method because you have difficulties dealing with it on the supports and the Bloodseeker.
Both side lanes now also have their own inbuilt sustain for the lane, Rake and CK. So wherever this Bloodseeker goes, be it offlane or carry, the cores inside lanes are also going to match the sustainability of the Bloodseeker.
And it's also 2 mounted heroes now to go out in front of their king. So I like that.
You think Coddle's going to go out in front?
Yeah, but also the Grimstroke and the Earthstroke both have long staffs to knock the horses over or whatever they.
Very balanced.
It's actually and OD actually. They have 3 of these
definitely
scary things.
Not a horse-friendly game.
No, yeah.
Which is a trouble for Liquid, considering the horse logo. You know.
I won't say nay again, but I was going to lean on that one.
All right, so what do we want to see from Team Liquid? How are they going to solve the OG problem?
It's a miCKe or qojqva hero. They're giggling a bit. What is the answer? I mean, there's no Timber. I don't think you can really Slark here, but it's all if you get a game for the Slark, he kind of just takes over. In theory, you could also put it mid because there's no hero that deals with it on the side of OG that can actually shut it down. And I want something that can hunt these supports.
qojqva's laughing now. That's when it gets scary. When he laughs.
It's like it.
Yeah, see, you could pick up because he's laughing. It's a cheesier hero.
Yeah, it's either that or Lone Druid.
Yeah, you know.
When in doubt, pick Lycan.
I mean, it has worked out for some teams, but will it work out for Team Liquid, Brian?
Yeah. They don't really have any control. Yeah, they have decent AoE nukes, but there's absolutely no stuns to stop the summons from running people down. I think the pace of the game, when you combine the landing stage presence of the OD and the Bloodseeker, as well as this being most likely a mid Lycan, so his timings will come on much earlier. I like Team Liquid's draft here. I think they might be able to just sweep the map. You don't have recovery heroes all that well with the CK as well as the Void Spirit, so if they fall behind at all, OG's in trouble. They'll have to fight their way back, but I like Liquid's chances here.
Yep.
All right, thank you very much, Brian.
Yeah, totally agree. I was listening to the Captain Will podcast. They discussed, there was this moment where it was a tier qualifier game. Will was like chimed in Lycan right at the very end. They picked Lycan. He's like, oh God, what if we lose this? But they ended up crushing it with the qojqva Lycan. It's that same scenario. It's a must-win game. Pick something you're really comfortable with, and I think what BSJ said was very accurate. If you don't come out ahead in the lanes as OG, you're in huge trouble.
Yeah, well, I think for Liquid as well, it's like when they come out ahead, they need to make sure that every move is decisive. They take an objective, be it Tower or Roshan, because they eventually fall victim to how do we get through the innate tankiness of the illusions of CK and the Wraith King. So I kind of feel that Liquid, they have to execute as well as they did in game 2, because eventually OG will kind of turn back the tides and you'll be able to win this game. But
it's easier for them. You can take towers.
It's very easy.
You can take road.
Do we feel like Team Liquid is a little bit on a timer, or is that not a thing this game?
It's
yes
like
and no.
35 to 4.
Yes, great answer. I'm going to ask other people that question because it's not getting anywhere. It's time for game 3. Let's see how it's going to play out with Liquid and OG, and our commentary team will be miCKe and Purge.
Man, I don't know what happened to panel between game 2 and game 3, because game 2, they were really spot on with everything. Game 3, they're talking about pushing people over and using their horses, and I don't know. I'm just so excited that we have a game 3 here going on, and we already got some action.
Might have a first blood. Yeah, we'll get vision. There's a lot of stuns.
Yeah. They're right back in. They're out a little bit. And iNSaNiA stays a little bit longer, but they might be able to turn this around. Might be able to get a kill on No Tail, although Boxi going and throwing out that Astral Imprisonment. It's going to have them just split off, and this is not looking great now for miCKe as he forced to use the Fairy Fire Drops. The Blood right here still going to go down to Topson. He gets himself a double kill. This looks like a great mid lane for him to start off with, but they're going to turn this back around. Topson sitting at 17 hit points. He's going to be able to survive this.
Was hardly a challenge.
Really close. I didn't know if he was going to want to live because then he was not going to be able to kill, but great salve. and 3 kills to start things out for OG. This is the side of the heroes that they have. Chaos has a stun. Wraith King has a stun, single target. They also had Aether Remnant on Void Spirit. It's very easy for them to kill these single target stuns and a little AoE. So it might hurt their laning stage a little. Topson's talking me up the last day with Resonant Pulse. Thought use Aether Remnant instead, which is less reliable and less effective. And his one's also going to have a stun instead of like Vampiric Spirit or Mortal Strike. Not too weird.
Yeah, I think Topson getting 2 kills right off the bat, going to lane, right?
Good exchange for he's already got a full null talisman. He's also 200 gold with his next null talisman. It's definitely a decent lane.
Gonna have to duke it out here with qojqva in this mid lane. Top iNSaNiA and Saksa just gonna be traded back and forth a little bit, making the breathing room for miCKe and Seb.
In this though, iNSaNiA in a little bit of a weird place. He's got this slow level 1. Ton of damage.
Oh yeah.
Oh no!
What's up there?
He got fade bolted, so Salva's gone. Look, he could have juked in the trees, but he kind of stood there, stopped to push his head. I was like, yoink! Really did, 350 damage fade. So iNSaNiA already in a tough place, not having Stroke of Fate. A little harder now. These guys stay here. And as a result, mid 1's laning 1v2 against a OD and an Earth Spirit. He looks insane.
Yeah, I don't know. Taiga's just gonna chase him down.
He gave up. He knew he wouldn't be able to get away. There's on Earth already. So,
how do you feel about this? The fact that they're running this pry lane up and leaving the everything alone. Although another initiation here for a moment to draw back over onto iNSaNiA. Seb does have that Chaos Bolt, and he will be able to collect the kill. Is this the play here? Obviously, the fact that Seb is going to have a difficult time, catching up if he falls behind, but leaving mid 1 alone and letting them get the kill.
It's a little tough because you're basically punishing a support in exchange for your core getting punished. Our good ones are only at 3 right now, so he's not doing great. But on the side, the OD also has kind of equally low last hits, and OD did just get some nerfs that are probably more significant than Wraith King's. Wraith King's stun is a 17-second cooldown at level 1 right now, which is going to hurt his ability to kill heroes and defend himself in the laning stage. Plus 5 movement speed, 1 armor, and he can't orb as often. So he can do stuff like this. Here, guarantee that the bash doesn't get him the flat.
Back here over onto mid 1. Decent amount of damage being traded back and forth as they created themselves their own little mini lane offside.
Oh, and also bash now. Astral Imprisonment costs 150 mana instead of 1. He won't be able to do as much in the stage, but he should still be able to get his hammer at around the same time.
Now, I know there's some very strong feelings on OD in the offlane. What are your personal feelings about this? Besides the fact that, of course, he just get nerfed.
Really good at laning, for sure. You have good matchup advantages, but then you get to a position where you only have AoE. It's based on your Meteor Hammer only, and then you end up falling off a lot compared to this. But you can transition into like saving allies or setting up allies. That can work. But if you're just trying to win lane, it's really effective for sure in the right matchups. But it's definitely weaker. The laning stage definitely got nerfed here. So we'll see if it's still...
It's a nice combination being throughout the Wraithfire Blast and follow up, of course, with the light illuminate. And having the chakra magic always feels really nice.
Wraith King Skeletons, they only do 34 damage instead of 37. It doesn't... It'll make a small impact on his farm level. Salve getting interrupted on Wraith King. He's got plenty of tango, so... Topson Oni mid lane 27 last hit. That's very high. Has killed some wolves, I'm sure. It's got to be part of it, but keep in mind, got those early kills. Got his double null talisman really fast. He's got a full bottle. See if he can get the rune. G50.
Going up top. Yep. The better mid player here. Even gets a kill on Wolf.
He's happy. Quick. I can jungle a lot now. He's not farming that poorly either. 20 assets on him, so everything's going fine. DK's doing really good. Got 25 last hits.
So, miCKe's having a little bit of trouble here. Does have the wand, or rather the stick. Heal back up. He's got iNSaNiA nearby to go and put the salve on him.
This is the lane that's going the... miCKe's still last
Dire's
hitting
middle
well,
tower
but
is
both
under
Spirit has to be
attack.
careful not to die too much. I think the Wraith Band is perfect. You just basically need to make sure he doesn't kill you too many times in lane. Little ODS.
Taiga tossing out down here on the bottom lane. We'll just go down now. It's a lot of skirmishing back and forth in these two here in this bottom lane.
That's
Creeps together. Grab the bounties.
He had the haste
Benefit of
boom,
haste.
worked out pretty nicely for him. Nice build of bottle. Roll forward, over to no tail to kick back, but can't pull up with really anything beyond that.
He spent 150 mana to do a whole bunch of damage, so this is worth it. Making him run around like this to chase after him time, because it's time for the Meteor Hammer to finish. Once Meteor Hammer gets finished, then we're gonna see heroes start dying. Like if they banish and set up on Wraith King or Coddle can't interrupt that disable, that chain. If it goes opposite way, if they go on Coddle, yeah, Wraith King could interrupt, but it's probably only a matter of time until they get a kill, because OD is over leveled here, and because he's pretty darn close to getting his
Roll forward again. And over here onto mid one. Stone toss that over onto no tail. Fire Blast comes in, but Taka just a little bit outside of that Illuminate.
Good job practicing them up. No Wraith King. Yeah, they banish him. Okay, never mind. He's got a 13 stick. Not enough spells just yet, but low.
Get up a couple pings. They know that's Taiga's get. Roll forward though again over onto no tail. They should be able to go and get this kill. Taiga's going to be able to walk away. Goes and pops his own stick. Boxi waiting does not, of course, have Meteor Hammer just yet. Going for the dive here. Can they punish it? Look at this. Look at all the TPs coming out. They're saying, God, why is Boxi about to do this? He should not be allowed as Topson makes his rotation, gets himself a kill.
The fall of
The
the
nerf right
last
there. 5 movement speed, 1 less armor. He has that kill on the way.
Taiga, he walks in, rolling over on mid one. And he finds it. Saksa can't get enough damage off. Oof.
Radiant's
Have the
courier
mana.
has been killed.
I don't even know how he saw him. Did he just guess? I have no idea.
Yeah.
No. That's gonna recover. Meteor Hammer very close. 75 gold to go for Boxi, and because Wraith King isn't even 6 yet, that's really terrifying. Extremely gold.
Look at this active replay here. Just the roll on in, bam, right on him. Kicks his bones to the curb.
I don't. Yeah, vision. He just.
Look at this smile on him.
He just did it. That's insane. Going on the tail bot lane. Damage. Probably gonna die.
Yeah, he's going to die.
Wait. Okay, yep, he did die.
Yep.
You're right. Fully blocked in, no escape there
No.
for the horseman. A rough one for he's did that twice. He's 1, 2, and 4. It's been okay. Bloodseeker is doing all right top, not amazing. CK is certainly doing better. That's one really good thing for OG.
Dire's middle tower
CK is
is
going to
under
go for a
attack.
fast split. So you're going to use this to lane control, do a lot more damage than we normally see with CK. You can find CK off lane. Not the best team fight, but he's a very good lane winner. And if you get ahead in network, he can be really effective.
They have been spending so much time chasing Taiga around here. They're running just a little bit slow coming at the top of them.
I love it that he put a ward down before he TP'd as well. So he's still got something done by being here. And Topson also very farm this. So that's what they're going to have to deal with on the liquid side. But they're a small network advantage. But I guess one solution is just to leave the lane against the OD.
Just watching the wolves in the Necro book just chomp away over at No Tail. What a hero. What a hero Lycan is. What a item Necro book is right now. I'm surprised that. I guess we'll probably the items getting tended to a little bit later. Although the top lane will go, they'll land that ink. Solo takedowns Saksa. Seb just having to teleport out.
It's the lane that they need to stabilize on liquid side. They need to get Bloodseeker more. They can't let him just stay in this solo setup. I do love that they just left the lane against Boxi on the Biver with your hammer, though. Once he completes it, they just don't play here because it's not worth it. If you just by himself, here's the negative. You can't push fast, yet you can Meteor Hammer creep wave, but then you can't Meteor Hammer the tower. So if you just leave the lane, most offlane players will just AoE the next creep wave, they'll skip the creep wave, and then the tower dies relatively fast. But just leaving him here is going to buy them time to jungle and still gain some net worth without allowing him
Dire's
to
middle
push his
tower is
and
under
wield his
attack.
net worth advantage.
Well, they're bringing in someone, though, here in this spot. Have a nice ward, though, to scout out some vision. Topson's down. Take down a ward on the side. And already, though, you can see Box backing off here. 10-minute runes are going to be up. Topson making their way forward here. It's going to run into Taiga and no tail, but they have that setup here with Meteor Hammer. Topson, though, is a little bit off the mark here as they'll try to put out as much damage. They get the rupture off, though, over here on Topson. He's sitting up high, but they have the snow. Can they kill him fast enough? They drop the hammer. Down goes Topson. They'll get kicked in Saksa, and now they're going to wait patiently for the next victim, and it's going to be a no-tail.
Still works out great, awesome rotations by Liquid, and the benefit of the OD setup is it buys you 4 seconds to initiate. Most ODs aren't actually maxing Astral Imprisonment all the way here, but Boxi goes for it. It gives them a little bit more time to rotate over, and they're barely able to punish Tops. Huge fight, and Liquid sitting with a Lycan on the top of the network. Just the engagements. Keep an eye on the map when the TP start. Here's the Banish. Here's Meteor Hammer. Instant TP from Bloodseeker. He's going to rotate over. Very close to the right timing, but a little off here. Ends up jumping to the left. Sees the Necro units run straight into Bloodseeker, and then the OD ulti. Barely able to kill him here. The other benefit of picking OD here is that he's playing against a Void Spirit. Void Spirit has a lot of mana, therefore he gets more mana when he banishes him back, which is both damage and decent setups there.
It's like they found a kill on mid one while we were watching that replay.
Oh my god, that was without like a help.
Had a little help from iNSaNiA.
Yeah. He didn't skill his ulti, so he didn't lose it at least, but there the enemy carry like
Radiant's
that.
top tower is under attack.
This is nice. So we have iNSaNiA rotating now to the bottom lane. Taiga's also there. And there is a 3-on-3, but the teleport's coming out actually, trying to punish qojqva. And hunting through the woods, not going to be able to qojqva. Drops the 8. Still hiding off into the trees. He's going to run forward though. He's spotted out by Saksa. Saksa though taking a lot of damage from all of these creeps. He is going to fall, but they'll be able to get themselves a turn kill. Bottom lane though, Tail was here. He's got the blinding light. Looks like he's barely that little bit of burn. We'll take him out.
A lot of
and a courier goes down. qojqva just happens to find it over there. God, everything is just happening.
Right? King qojqva kills the support and a courier.
Topson,
got, but it's pretty good.
Drops down blood right. Topson sidestepping in. Very nicely. So use the rupture. They need detection though. The wolf still standing nearby over on the mid lane. Mid one taking a lot of damage. Yeah, again, he's just taking down to this Earth Spirit. The damage that's coming out. He's trying to buy skill off, but they drop another rock. Okay, that's going to be the reincarnation. He's coming back up again. Do they go back in? They see him. They have a sentry wall down. But just backing off. They're going to respect it. Reset. Go back.
Cool there. And the rupture as well. Because like while it didn't kill Void Spirit and they didn't get the detection there in time, it did buy them time to pressure mid one. And they burned his ultimate. So next time they go for him, he is super vulnerable. He does not have his armlet finished yet. He's absolutely killable. He's close to it, about 200 gold to go, but Wood's definitely putting some good pressure on. And they've got Vulcanity ready to go on the top lane. So next fight is going to be hard to slow down. If they kill Skiter, this will be really big.
They're looking, they've got the wall, they've got Inks, 12 out of the land, but the follow-up here coming out from top. Can they go and take down Taiga fast enough? It's looking like they'll be able to find it. For the back line, so Nota is having such a dangerous time as he's just getting chopped away by all the stuff, but over on the back line, qojqva, he does fall. No-Tail still trying to play ring around the rest, trying to get away. He's like, team, please help me. Saksa, look at the damage he took just from that one Necrobook creep. But on the bottom lane, oh dear. They have found themselves a mid one, and they will take down the king.
Okay, they got him at least. I think No-Tail got pretty lucky there. The summons missed a lot. Blinding like it's a 40% miss chance. I saw like 3 or 4 attacks that got missed in a row, so that helps keep them alive. And then the fact that everybody in OG is ready to go on the Lycan. They don't have the best AoE stuns, but they have amazing single target disable. So being able to just jump on Lycan and lock him down pre-BKB is one good option. And kill, that's 2 deaths in a row now for qojqva. Game's pretty even at this moment.
It is pretty crazy the amount of pressure that both teams have been able to put on the position ones.
Good job. Bloodseeker's in a better place. He should be accelerating pretty fast. He's got blood pitch maxed out, and he has the Maelstrom, which is the best way to accelerate. You can pressure lanes, you can pressure gold. Well positioned. The supports on the OG side are sitting fine now. Saksa level 8, as is No-Tail. So we're in decent spots, but the game's pretty much wide open at the moment.
I had this feeling that the game 3 was either going to be very fast or it's going to be a long one. And I have a feeling this one's going to be a bit of a long one.
It's like right now. Obviously, Lycan's going to off a little bit as we go ultra late game, but kind of so will miCKe a little. Maybe not because his net worth is nice in the game, though. He's almost got an Echo Saber picked up after his armlet. His damage is going to be in actually. Echo Saber works really, really good with CK. It's Chaos Strike. It's a chance to proc, not like a hit on the first time like Wraith King does now. So his damage is going to be crazy good. And because all Liquid 4s are very like single target survivable, CK deals with those kinds of heroes pretty well. Doesn't have AoE, but he can kill these like high HP.
Saksa knows that they're keeping tabs on him. They do have that sentry ward. Not sure if he's aware of how many people are coming down. Teleports are coming out. Silence. Taiga rolling for Topson does have a double damage. He's going to try to punish Taiga for going too deep here. miCKe, the follow-up though, doing the pressure off the forward coming out from Taiga. He's absolutely fine. Boxi drops the meteor hammer onto two. They get the kill on Saksa, and it's looking like they'll get the kill on Topson as well as miCKe just trying to man fight over here with this OD, chopping him down. That is going to be the big coordination, but Sev is here from across to the back lines. He's stopping Taiga down. It's going to be all the damage. Boxi, he can't stand it. He is going to fall as miCKe tries to man fight. There's just too much here as qojqva nibbling away over the back of his head. Can he do enough damage? Will they be able to get the stun off? No, they're not going to be able to. Mid-one, he's slipped down at last second. iNSaNiA throwing down the stroke of fate will take out mid-one.
Carrying the game for his team here. He's got the Possessed Mask, 7 strength, 7 more lifesteal here. Absolutely dumpstering that fight. It was really cool how it started though. That was Grimstroke ulti, double banish with OD, and then he drops the hammer. It hits both these guys with the Grim ulti as they go in. iNSaNiA moves forward.
Right here.
Comes the leech. There's the banish. They did it literally at the same time. And the hammer hits 2 heroes. It looks great. CK on the back line there, beating somebody up who I assume is going to die. Yeah, that was qojqva losing half HP during his ulti. Seb is the problem. Without a doubt, he is too tanky. miCKe did try to fight him, but he just can't out DPS him, and Seb was going to let him deal way too much back. So now they're like, he's hurting him a lot here.
Looks like they're going to try to make plays on the bot lane again.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Tails goes up over on the side. Seb is still here though. The Wolves again trying to get that ink swell off fast enough. It'll land on Seb. Skate going right through the roll. Coming out from Taiga. Over onto 3. Magnetize. Banished up. Meteor hammer. But the banish coming back out. Taiga's going to be able to roll. No, he's not. Turn their attention again here over onto Seb. He's toggling very nicely though. Needs to get some more damage out. They need to do it fastest. Seb does go down. They'll find a kill on Topson. And these puppies are on the run here. They can see Saksa and they want his blood. Down he goes. miCKe gets a double kill and down goes the tower.
The only reason Saksa there was the nerf to coddle 2 days ago. The recall took 5 seconds instead of 3. Saksa dies because of it. Impactful patches matters, guys. That's another great example. But completely different fight for the reason that Seb uses ulti. He goes in, but the difference was Liquid gets to go in him first. They burned Magnetize and all Burst Spirits AoE to lower the illusion health, lower the HP of Seb, and that's why they got the kill. So if Seb can pop his ulti, go hit a backline, fight somewhere else before like Taiga goes in, they can absolutely win fights, but Taiga is the solution right now to dealing with the CK until he finishes his heart. And once he gets his heart, it's going to be a very different game. Because one of the big advantages to heart right now, I think works, is that it gives a lot of regen. The regen that you get also applies to your illusions. So even though your illusions are weak damage, heart helps offset that, to mention giving them just a huge amount of damage in HP. So let's see if his heart to change again here for OG, but he's only about 2,600 gold away from it. Once he gets that finished, he's going to continue being a monster.
It still feels like it's so neck and neck here as well. These fights have, yeah, look at this map, my God.
Yeah.
Back and forth. So both these teams, they really want this series. Very important for Liquid here as well.
What they really need on the Liquid side is DPC on like certainly going to be huge. A damage from CK, from Wraith King, even a bit from Void Spirit. If they get an AC armor for their team, minus armor, the opponents, that will certainly help them in these fights. Slowed down. Almost had drum, then he died twice. Times. AC comes a little slower.
We are going to see the Axe very, very soon with Topson as well, which could be very, very nice for the side of OG. Having that little bit of extra silence is always very, very useful, especially against heroes like the Grimstroke, right? Very important. They've been putting the ink swell on the Wolves most of the time because they're so speedy, and they can set up nicely with it.
Almost no threat to putting the ink swell on them. They're very likely going to pop on some. It's a good way to initiate the classic combo. A classic, but it's a more recently discovered one, like less than a year or two ago.
Fridge. They're going for the Dark Portrait on iNSaNiA. I've been seeing more and more, and I like it. I really like it.
It's a good name for it. Do we have a Radiance? Yeah, Wraith King's also building Radiance. So you got two options. You either put it on Wraith King, get a Radiance illusion that sometimes, or you put it on the CK, who also has incredible illusions and is building towards it. It's a great game for Dark Portrait. It makes a lot of sense.
I love it. I love it. It's going to be a bit before their chip, but there's a haster picked up by Taiga. They spot out Saksa. Topson, though, over on the low ground. So it's a little bit of a split up fight. They get silence off, though. They backing off Saksa. Still man fighting with Taiga. There's a whole other thing going down, but they do manage to let up here off the Topson, but it's not looking great now for Boxi because one is running in fast. They drop the Aether, they're not going to be able to go from the crowd. They'll turn back around. They're Taiga looking very, very nicely here as Taiga does run himself away. At these next bookie units, they're chonking away over on the back line. They'd love to go and finish up over here onto No Tail. He's trying really hard to stay alive. And the just reset.
Only for Big Die, surprisingly. A lot of spells used though. Illusion is, or his ulti is just such a low cooldown. The cooldown reduction, but it's up again in 30 seconds. It's like he's just already ready to fight here. But they pick up Saksa on the back line. Getting recalled to the bottom half of the map, which would have been safer.
I like how they had their own little 1v1 going on while everything else was happening in the river.
There's a Blood Rage too, and I thought that would be kind of impactful because they did up Magnetize on the roof. But hey, get the kill, take him out of there, and that lack of a save to get the Rubik out probably helped them anyways.
Closer and closer to that over on Chaos Knight.
Base. Going to cool item too. Perseverance straight into Lincoln's Sphere. He wants to stop the disable, whoever it goes on. Rupture or Vanish or that's the big ones. Maybe Grimstroke ulti you could block, but a little hard.
Yeah.
Boxi trying to finish his DKB because he is definitely vulnerable to getting ran at right now.
I like the way Liquid's moving around the map too. They're really kind of sticking together for the most part. So if anybody gets initiated on, they can immediately respond. But that is the heart completed, and it is the fastest this patch.
Radiant's top tower.
I'm not surprised. I mean, we don't see CK too often. Set one lane, played very well so far. Only's died one time, so yeah, not surprised he's got the heart at a good time.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
How do you feel about the optimization over on top? You know, a lot of the times we'll tend to see the Void Spirits going for the Yules first, because it's also a save and it's a setup. In this case, he opted to go for the Ags first.
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously Ag's Void Spirit is very common. It's like one of the two builds, and Yules. It's nice to have Yules for sure because he can protect himself from silence outs. But most of the silence outs are like, with the exception of like Earth Spirit 1, they're easy to dodge. I mean, not easy, but dodgeable with assimilating other spells. So I think it'll be fun.
See Topson opening up the Rupture with the blood right. Boxi making his way over here. Topson being held in place. Need to be a little bit careful to roll. Nice cut down over to the bottom side, but going to be able to keep dodging around. Stepping forward, they get them linked up here with the Grimstroke ulti. Double silence coming out as Mundo has a lot of damage. Topson, he goes down so quickly. A nice save from the upper Boxi. He's going to be alive. Saksa goes down. Over on the side, mid one, think he wants to go back in. Yeah, but he's getting hidden, miCKe. Might need a little bit of help. Boxi, he has a BK. He can go and they drop the hammer. He'll get the first of this King as now. They should right back around. Taiga rolling on out. Easy peasy. They have them guys. No drops. He's a big tanky boy here for. Are they going to be able to finish up now? Boxi, he's going to fall. They throw out another stroke of faith. The blood right gets trapped as well. No Tail running for his life. But look at miCKe. He is a race car. He's just running after him. He's got the roll on him. He's going to turn right back around. They want this kill on Topson. He doesn't have buyback after this because he already did. Tries to assimilate a little bit more time. Mid one though. Okay, Topson goes down. Mid one. He's the only one standing right and trying to run away and then just chase him down. miCKe with ultra kill.
And it's not just miCKe there, guys. That was Taiga saving his ass multiple times. Taiga playing so aggressive, rolling into 3 huge heroes with Inkswell on. He looked super dead. He has Ghost Scepter. He pops it, buys him time to disengage. He rolls away. Then miCKe gets in trouble, but then Taiga swings back in, punches miCKe to safety. Also kind of lucked out. He rolled through some neutral creeps. Therefore, miCKe could kill them and then re-engage with more HP. It was really sick. What a fight for Liquid. And now they get an A. Even better here for Team Liquid. They're in a good spot right now. He's starting to feel a little bit less effective, even though he is hard to kill. But importantly, Liquid's feeling like they can just kite him consistently.
I mean, they definitely have. We're getting so close to the Agnet sensor over on iNSaNiA. We'll have that Dark Portrait up soon. BKB completed now here for the Bloodseeker. Liquid is playing their draft exceptionally well with the speed that they need to be doing it.
Sure. Yeah, and the item basically about 15 gold for Grimshark. Ags finish on him. Hell, Soulbind, the Wraith King to the CK. Then you get 2 Dark Portals. That would be sick too.
Oh, baby.
Why pick, you know? AC is about halfway done for Lycan. And now Bounty fights.
Taiga realized that something feels a bit off. He's going to roll back and again to taking that 8th remnant to face. Not really too worried about it, though, because he has the rest of his team standing very close.
Since net worth has dropped off so hard this game. He was top for a bit there, but a couple crucial tests, they've done a really good job. And it's really hard because he kind of has to be the frontliner. Because again, one of the issues to not having a traditional offlane hero is that those heroes usually stand in the front. But Wraith King is a little scared because of the mana drain. He hasn't bought a shard yet, so maybe he's not that worried. But CK is more of a counter initiator or initiator directly. Like someone has to give the vision, and Topson being gone, he just has to try to stay alive. Maybe Yules would have been better with considered, but Silence is good too. It's just they haven't quite had the right setups for him.
It's been very difficult. I mean, one of the reasons why Seb had such a nice start too, besides, you know, the fact that the lane did especially well from him, is the fact that like he's able to swing around these angles. Like at the bottom fight early on near the tier 1, he was able to kind of pick off, and they didn't initiate on him, so he was allowed to have this free reign. But oh my gosh, there we go. We have the Assault Cuirassius now for the Lycan. And they're hunting Seb right now. Boxi has a haste hero. I'm gonna find him, though. Be able to stay alive here. But again, we do have Dark Portrait online from iNSaNiA. They are just trying to take over this map.
You know, Shard wants to get those extra wolves on the map.
Tail no. Run. Oh, okay, that's a good play here. Taiga spends a little bit of time on the first, can roll right back down here.
Perfect. Placement. Blinding Light to stick him there. Alive Sentry is going to spot out forward. If the Steel Banish with that at least. So his allies. Be really good if someone gets ruptured. Just keep banishing him.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Extra cast range for Bloodseeker. Just wants to better be able to land Rupture on the right guy. And it's kind of crazy that Liquid's been in this good place in the game. In the mid-tier 1 hasn't even felt like that at all. All the fights they've taken have felt pretty decently on their terms, but just trying to win fights, get skirmishes, and not too worried about building just yet. It's surprising.
Well, Tunic now back from the OD. Pick up Seb. So immediately using that ultimate to go forward. He's got his BKB though, so he can stand and fight. miCKe with his up BKB is going to turn right back around. He's taking a decent chunk of damage as we do get on the back lines. That Soulbind gonna walk away here. Seb is just standing his ground, trying to manifest. He's so tanky, but they look at him mid-1 though, dropping the hammer coming out now from Boxi. They take him down. It's not looking very good. He does finally go down. We're on the lines though. Boxi, he's trying to run over. He doesn't have much health left, but find the kill over onto top. The roll forward coming out from Taiga. For anybody else who's straggling around, to find it, they immediately turn and make this into a tower push.
Radiant structures.
Are they going on to the chasing after 1?
Little. Perfect action from Liquid though. Instant Ghost Scepter. Like Seb had a BKB there. He popped up for an Earth Sprinter.
Taiga rolling right into mid-1. Stroke of Fate comes out though. Taiga, is he going to be able to survive this again? It's looking pretty damn good. The banishment comes out. They'll be able to pop that reincarnation. miCKe coming right back up against Saksa. Goes down the rope for it coming out from Taiga. He's just dancing around, dancing beautifully. They just can't get their hands on this Earth Spirit. Over there, the soft no-tail goes down mid-1. He's not going to survive it either. miCKe gets himself a double kill, and they'll get themselves yet another tower.
There are five dead heroes on the OG side. It is looking like this game is trending towards over. Dark Portrait there on the Wraith King doing tons of damage in the fight, even killing the Keeper of the Light. And it's just, it feels almost impossible for OG to fight now. Void Spirit trying to get a Yule Scepter, but it does kind of feel like the lack of Yules has hurt him a lot here. They interrupt the Rolling Boulder, but he's got Ghost Scepter. Dark Portrait gets made, runs around a little wacky, but so the Ink Swell gets a great pop on 2 heroes. He's going to solo kill the Rubik here. Ends up guaranteeing that the Coddle goes down as well, and they are just running down Wraith King.
Those Mjolnir procs over there with the lightning. You want them in here.
Yeah. Really good against Radiance too. Every time the Radiance sticks, gives you a chance to get Mjolnir Reflection.
Look at the reaction.
I looked frustrated. He was like, "What are you doing, guys?" To his allies, what it looked like to me. pretty decent item, Cloak of Flames. I assume Tuna goes to Boxi. Yeah, that's a lot more sense. Make him faster, give him evasion, more attack speed. Excellent stuff.
Taiga's just playing out of his mind. I have to say. Oh, Seb, everywhere you are, there they are too. Well, next, the rest of the team is here, and he was tanky early on, and now he just looks like paper purge.
Yep. It's all a matter of time until CK starts to feel like a weaker hero. Hard. You basically have to like take this net worth advantage, and you have to just like carry it into ganks, transitioning. Like he buys like, and I'm not saying this is the right item build, but if he goes like Blink instead, then you can do things like ulti in darkness, blink in, jump and kill guys. But it's like it takes a lot of resources to do this. It's a little hard to execute.
Radiant's bottom tower
and ever
is
since
under
then, it's just
attack.
been finding decent initiation. OG just feels confident looking for these fights because they are hard to execute. Like how did they even initiate a game?
Topson jumping over onto the OD. The roll forward though again, coming out here from Taiga. Gonna steam him up, hold him into place. The hits out, and Topson is no more. And now they're already pushing into the base.
Habitat.
Bash,
Click your own likeable. Oh, that's so sick.
But he can't stand toe to toe with them. He can't stop this push.
Can't.
Look at this. They've got their dark. It's just chasing after Saksa, chunking away at him.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Roll forward again, coming out from Taiga. They'll stun him up. Speed coming out from Boxi for a moment. Not going to be full on out this time here, Taiga. This is going to be a little bit too far. So he does eventually fall mid one. But they already took a tower and they took most of the buildings here on the bottom. Just a little bit of health with 101 hit points left on that Rax.
Fast after up on Bloodseeker. Same cat, but attack speed, sorry. So it should be really easy for him to deal with these BKB heroes now, considering he's also got BKB. So they've just got minimization here to offset the high HP single unit cores, the CK and the Wraith King. Just looking really solid here. If you can, especially if you can kill one of them as this fight goes down. That last fight at the boundary top, he ended up killing the CK and got a huge heal. 1,000 HP or something. You can't win the engagement after that for OG. It's like they're going to sit back. They're really worried about a smoke at the moment, or they're backing themselves to smoke.
Either way, someone's smoking, right? Yeah, look, yeah, it does.
Nobody smoking.
No one's smoking. All right.
They're in a great position on Liquid, but game's not over. 7k advantage for them. They could definitely still throw this if they have a bad team fight or two. And with Blink Dagger on Wraith King, they can start a lot better for OG.
Here we go, Purge. One showing, everybody else is smoked up on the side of OG. They're standing on the high ground. They're baiting mid one. Boxi, very far forward here, but not taking the bait. Realize,
is under attack.
no one's showing in any of these lanes.
Let's go look to see if we can find like a little pusher on the top. Not able to catch any. Don't know BKB on liking. This is maybe what they're aiming for here. Curiously, like also going different talents. Movement speed and parallel impulse scan. Most Lycan's go cooldown with shapeshift duration, but he just wants the stronger damage. Finally opting for the
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
now they want to.
Radiant's bottom barracks
As
has
Hunton
fallen.
looking for whoever he can find here, and they are
Under
running to Seb. BKB immediately coming out. They also have the rupture. Seb having to just kind of run a little bit, goes and gets his ultimate off, but over on the BKB coming out. He's just taking too much damage. That's a 10 times that gets taken down here. They go get the soulbind out. Boxi, his BKB has just run out. This is not looking for the OD. It's sliced apart. Over on the back lines, he's not going to be able to roll away from this one. Topson getting himself a nice double kill.
Wait, I need to say it there. Our port gets spawned, but it's like a void spirit and something else. So, I mean, just basically Bloodseeker just overestimating his ability to fight the CK. CK still does an insane amount of damage. Just got Blitz Knuckles too, 55 extra attack speed, and they crushed that fight. That is what they were worried about. They overreached it a little too hard. They have to deal with the illusions, and then the Bloodseeker is going to be fine, basically. But they kind of just like went all in right away. He got completely crowded, and then he's trapped. Doesn't have phase boots. He went treads on Bloodseeker. I think he just got stuck in there and had to commit.
Has fallen to the Radiant.
Nobody wants Aegis.
Yeah. Question mark?
Wraith King doesn't want it. CK is probably while not having it.
All right, mid one.
So
Oh, mid one. He wanted to.
They want
You should
Topson to
have
have it or something.
All right, Topson is.
There's wolves
not
in there.
Maybe
They
be
get
careful.
it. They get it. Why? Okay, he was waiting for recall. I think they were waiting for Cut Ulti to come up so that he could recall Topson so Topson could take it. Topson was pushing the bot lane.
So greedy.
It was, but well played by qojqva. Hang out the wolves in the area. Here's Top way on the bot lane. He just got his ulti up. He turns it on. He starts the recall, and it's just too late. They can only kill one of the two wolves.
I can't believe that just happened. Yeah, good on qojqva for sending those puppies in there.
Yeah, okay, well done.
That's
It would have been funny if they timed out right before they killed the Aegis, and I could have said, the patch matters again. The Lycan Wolves only last 50 seconds instead of 50. We get it, though.
Sorry, Purge, you're going to have to maybe find yourself a new slogan for those t-shirts. There'll be other games. There'll be more times. I'm sure you could say it again.
My new slogan is Alchemist often is usually bad, but not always.
That's a terrible slogan.
No, too long?
That's way too long. Compared to, like, capitalist, like, you know, first are good, Nyx Assassin, third pick bad. I don't remember the official.
She has shown to us that Alchemist offlane is not always bad, so we gotta update it.
I think we gotta undercut your slogans. Dude. Ever since Yellow Everyone, this is Purge. We've really gone downhill.
Long time since I got a new one.
We'll workshop it, don't worry. We'll ask the D&D folks what they think too. Smoke coming out from the side of OG. They're hoping that they can get themselves a nice pick off here. Tails just charged. Yeah, qojqva. Immediately, though, the BKB coming out. Rolling it over onto the back lines. Taiga trying to make things happen here. Gets off the magnetize. Can beat them go. They take down notes. One just down. They're trying to go and kite as much as possible. BKB, though, coming out from step Boxi. He's already got his BKB up. It's just taking so much damage. The leash comes out from over here onto the side. They just meant to take down miCKe. Now they're turning their attention over here to Boxi. By a little bit more time as they chomp down over on Topson. qojqva, though, still running around. They take down Boxi. They'll chase down again. Taiga just doing so much work here. Shade coming out. They'll take down. And they grab mid one. Look at miCKe. He's race car just running over there. They need something to cancel out this TP. Never mind. They don't need anything to cancel out this TP because they're just going to take him down for his first. They'll go back in a second time. Can they get the kill again? Over here on mid one. Yes, they can. qojqva on the killing spree as Fata hiding in the trees. He says, oh, please, God, please. No, it's just a simple chain as down he goes in the forest. Buyback coming out now from Seb. And just Liquid running him over and right back in again.
That's what keeps happening. Ruby keeps stealing Dark Portrait from iNSaNiA. I'm like, where are these Dark Portraits coming from?
Everybody wants to be an artist.
Making the bid again. He keeps committing to fighting these two cores with BKB on when they both have BKB on. He's not going to win those fights generally. Mjolnir's doing no damage. They just have way better physical damage and a crit. He ends up dying, but the 5 helps him come back and clean up the Wraith King, and now they get a chance to go high ground. But miCKe does this one more time. There's going to be some issues.
Very, very carefully. They don't have Boxi to come in and save him either. Well, fortification comes out. They'll clean up the creeps real nice like that. With his army going to assail this tower.
He's got to be careful.
No Wraith King still for another 30 something, but
CK could ult
Radiant's top
him.
tower is
Yeah,
under
he did a
attack.
BKB, but if he gets disabled some way and CK goes on him, like he could definitely die here. So I'm just gonna keep the control for now. Use the Necro 3 to do some dewarding. Find a sentry. See if they find the ward over here on the cliff. If not, it's almost dead anyways. They want utter roach control.
We're gonna see some more puppies in this game soon here, Purge. There is an Ags.
It's really good this game. So the biggest thing that holds Ags back from being good is that you need to have another melee core on your team. If you use it on a ranged hero, they become melee. Sniper melee, not good. I've tried it. It doesn't work.
Of course.
But a Bloodseeker, extra movement speed, base, okay, he's going to be so fast actually, because his base movement speed is going to become 650. Now when he gets percentage-based movement speed from Thirst, it's going to be based on his 650 movement speed, not his 365 movement speed. And he can get crits. And if Lycan and him are both slapping, they're just going to heal each other. It's actually pretty freaking cool, this game. I look forward to seeing it. A Bloodseeker is basically like a Lycan wolf anyway. He should be a Lycan. Fight him already.
No, he's not.
Blood kills people.
There are many creatures that go after blood and kill people. In fact, that's how most people die, is because of something going for blood to kill them. Purge, please.
It makes sense.
I do like this item over here on Taiga. He does have the ninja gear, so he's going to have even better place. In fact, as I say this, immediately, mid-one walking forward into so many people, force out the BKB. He's still ruptured, though. Does have to be careful. The Necro Books, of course, just kind of running past and trying to do some scouting. Held into place. Might, as mid-one is still just fighting over here. And he goes down for the first. No tail still running forward from this Dark Lord. But more importantly, the real Wraith King goes down.
He just instantly makes a Dark Portrait. He's getting that 30% movement speed bonus, and he uses it to just instantly go for the back line. Breaking Blink Daggers with Radiant Spurt, almost killing No Tail. Only reason No Tail lives is if he turns his ulti on, which gives him more movement speed. Only reason he's alive right now. So big fight. Mid-one did not expect full of Liquid down there.
Hope not.
Yep.
But,
Big bought something else. Give up on the eggs. He bought Basherins. Looks like he changed his mind. Fortunate. Not going to see Bloodseeker in his natural habitat. Instead, going the item that makes sense. Abyssal Blade's going to help them counter BKB heroes, basically. Help them chain initiate.
there is a silver edge completed as well on step now.
Okay.
Immediately see it, obviously,
great.
but...
Break against Bloodseeker is very good.
Radiant are
But-
scanning.
This is BKB off, doesn't matter that much, but it's a nice item transition. Gives a lot of stats right now, so you know it doesn't in. All right, let's go to Denny to be for first. He's way to initiate though. At some point as TK, you need a way to like jump in to make the fight go more. And he's gone all damage. Reality Rift pierces spell immune and bonus Chaos Strike chance. So just trying to get as much damage as possible here.
Feels like this Wraith King has been dead for eternity. Back up in about 11 seconds, but the map has been just thoroughly covered here by the sort of liquid. They're moving together. They're really trying to punish. In fact, look at this. Yeah, you can see the scouting coming out from the side. Oh, look at they see Topson over in the corner. It's like able to get out though.
It's his only stun rolls.
Get this ninja gear just so value.
This is really good. Just needs to be the guy that moves around and initiate. They've got gem as well, so just should be utter map control. See if they find the one on the.
They're hunting. The ship's passing in the night as there's a smoke from the side of OG as well. I hope that this time they can get the initiation. No vision.
Roche could be up, so they're going to move over to the enemy. If they control this area and they spot OG on the opposite side of the map, they could take Roche. If Roche respawns, it's up really fast, actually. It's a 30-second respawn. Pretty good for Liquid. They push up the top lane. They spot enough OG heroes bottom. Can't just be one, though, because Cole can refall. Over the Dark Trip hit.
Ported over here on the Chaos Knight. The kick forward at the Rupture. BKB coming up, but they have the Abyssal Blade coming out here from miCKe. He's chopping down. Get the... Oh, the it's drop. iNSaNiA just taking him out here as he's after No Tail. No hope for him.
That's a dieback.
That is indeed. And look at the way that Liquid is just chewing through the buildings. Mid-one jumping onto the back line. Going on Fox. The ball good soulbind them. Will leash them together. Hold them in place. All the blood right here. Taiga rolling around. They have the BKB up and running over here off to mid-one, but they take out Topson. He is going to fight back. Jump over onto the ground. Mid-one chalking away. Taiga's just going to roll on out. They can go back in again. That's true. Coming out. They have another Dark Fortress just rolling onto the back line. This is looking like a first time dead here. The spot of this Wraith King F is looking like he's about to go down right here, right now. Double kill. Buyback coming out from Wraith King. He's got to be very careful. He can't afford a dieback.
They got enough in the game.
They're going for it, Perch. They're going right for it. They've got the creeps.
Radiant structures.
They've got the damage. By God, there's 7 boys out. Say, hey, get these guys off our buildings.
Little scary for Liquid. Not terrible. And they're controlling Void Spirit so easy. This
Got another Dark Portrait up.
like,
They're just, you know what? They're painting portraits left and right. Mid-one jumping in, though. Immediately the save coming out from Boxi. Trying to get them off the buildings. This is so hard. It's a big crit coming out here. miCKe backing off. They have the Abyssal Blade. They go jump right back over to Topson. Mid-one trying to put out as much damage. They kill Taiga. No, they have not been able to take him down just yet. Okay, now he goes. He falls. But Boxi goes down. Topson goes down. The buybacks are coming out. Fox coming right back in. So is Taiga. Mid-one, he's got that reincarnate again. Coming back up. Can they kill qojqva here? Stunned up. He's locked down. It's looking pretty good. He's trying to run. He cannot. Mid-one gets himself a double. No buyback over here on this Lycan.
Okay. Well, it ended up not being worth it. I'm sure they would have loved to take Mega Creep. The Tier 4 towers actually helped a lot there. They kept clearing the Dark Portraits. Dark Portraits take a lot of bonus physical damage, but they are magic immune. So every time you Dark Portraits and those get destroyed, it helps a lot. And that Tier 4 still being up makes a big difference. And Roche is up. I totally forgot about that. They definitely could have just backed in Roche.
Buyback now. Come now from qojqva. They want this Roche. No Topson for 80-something seconds.
They have to do this, because if they don't buy back, like, their opponents can maybe push for it.
Mid
But
one.
now they have 5 heroes.
Mid one, he's in the pit. They see it. Not going to jump just yet. They go, look at the ink swell out. They'll just go, turn around, they'll take the vision. Taiga, though, rolling forward here, does find Saksa. miCKe jumping over on the BK almost immediately. And so they drop the hammer. miCKe searching, wants to try to take out Seth. They get a nice soul fight off with the abyssal. Double abyssal. Down now. It's beautiful. If they go, they buy a little bit more time. They protect miCKe. And they take him down. This is looking really good. Seth, he comes down. And now it's looking like they'll get Saksa. They'll wait patiently here for mid one. He's trying to run away. He cannot escape Liquid. They go. They banish him up yet again with the meteor hammer. No tail. Tries to do anything that he possibly can to try to save his king, and he's not going to be able to because no tail gets taken down. Team wipe over on the side of OG.
And that is almost really going to be the game. Unless Kaba can defend by himself. But
That's very
amazing games from
optimistic.
Liquid. They got to be so amped with this game. They played it very well. They had counters. They dealt with the pressure of their opponents, and they had to win this series. This was their only chance to make it to the major, was winning this series, and they won it. So massive for them. That's going to give them tiebreaker advantage against OG, putting them at 3-3, I believe, with OG at 3-3. And OG's last series is going to be against Secret. That's going to be a hard one to win for OG. And is that Liquid's last game? No, they still play Alliance as well.